Good morning, Nigeria. On this beautiful Friday morning, I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and our eyes constantly on the streets. And the criteria for this segment is trending stories that need dialogue. In our first story, in a chilling courtroom testimony, 23-year-old Chidinma Ojukwu, a former mass communication student at the University of Lagos, recounted the moment that she allegedly found SuperTV CEO Usifo Ataga dead in a pool of his own blood. Now, she testified before a Lagos High Court, and she described returning to the rented apartment that they booked after running errands, buying food, juice, cannabis, and hard drugs, only to find the door unlocked and Ataga lying dead in a pool of his own blood. In a panic, she admitted that she cleaned herself up, changed her clothes, and left with his bank documents, ID cards, jewelry, and a mysterious brown envelope. She narrated the journey of their relationship, which began in late 2020, and she claimed that Ataga, a married father of 3, helped pay her school fees and supported her cosmetics business. Now, on the weekend of his death, she said that he funded food and drugs for their private romantic rendezvous ahead of his birthday, and he had planned to reunite with his estranged family in Abuja afterwards. This is very scary. Now, what is even more chilling is her post-crime conduct, that she came and she carried his jewelry, his ID cards, brown envelopes. That really, in the court of law, it will be easy to prove that she had a guilty mind, or a mens rea, as they say in legal terms. But let's take a look at social media. I'm going to take 3 tweets on this. Curious to hear what you guys have to say. Zoe says, lawyers are worse than politicians. They have coached this girl on what to say. I think that's their job. The president says, may this be the end of any man that cheats or mistreats women. And somebody responds, amen. And may this also be the end of every girl that sleeps with married men. It's a basketballs on that. Moving on, in our next story, a Lagos court has freed 17-year-old Alabi Quadri, who became famous during the 2023 elections, for standing in front of Peter Obi's convoy. Now, he was released on Thursday after legal advice from the Lagos State Director of Public Prosecutions. The human rights lawyer Nibehe F. Young, who has been fighting for Quadri's release, explained that the teenager's troubles began when local youths, or area boys as they're called, abducted him after he received gifts and money from his viral encounter with Peter Obi. Now, these youths felt entitled to his unexpected windfall, and they framed him for a street fright. He was later falsely charged with armed robbery and detained with adults, despite only being a minor. Now that he is free, the lawyer, F. Young, is crowdfunding to help him escape this community that tormented him and almost ruined his life. They're trying to rebuild his life for him. What is these 2 cases, both the case of Chidinma and the case of Quadri, what I find interesting about these cases is that there is a prolonged pre-trial detention. Section 35 of the Nigerian Constitution guarantees that people who have been arraigned or arrested or detained should be arraigned before a court within a reasonable time period. So the fact that these people, Chidinma was kept for 3 years, this boy has been in detention 3 months, it shows a lapse in our legal system. But what worries me about this case is this crabs in a barrel mentality. Let's take a look at social media. It takes one good man to stand up for a young boy like Iniebe F. Young did here. Daniel Rega says, F. Young, get that family to leave that place ASAP. Quadri's release isn't sitting well with his enemies, and they might do worse unless serious legal action is taken against them, and fast. The affected family should go and live elsewhere for now. That said, a job well done to everyone who made his release possible. Zico says there are many Quadris languishing in detention centers across Nigeria because of the unbridled criminality, lawlessness, and a lack of accountability in the police institution and the weakness of the justice system. History will vindicate the just. We'll take one more tweet on this. This is the lawyer, the human rights lawyer who intervened in Quadri's case. He says, we have raised 3 million naira within 2 hours of announcing the fundraising for Quadri Alabi. We are still far from the target, but the amount raised so far demonstrates that there are good, spirited people in Nigeria. Please keep donating. What is even more worrisome is that even though Kadri is a minor, they registered him as over 18 years old when they detained him in the documents. Somebody should have stood up for him, a policeman, somebody in charge, to say this is a minor, to say what is he really doing here, and nobody did that, and that is very, very worrisome. But guys, I want to hone in on this Chidinma Ojukwu case, because in 2021 it took the country by storm. SuperTV CEO found dead. This really highlights the problems with the sugar baby, sugar daddy complex in Nigeria. Because they had a secret relationship, there are so many layers to this case that unfortunately will remain secret between Chidinma and Ataga, who is now unfortunately dead.
Chidinma, you know, when you find somebody dead and your first instinct is to take valuables, you have announced yourself as guilty already, you know. So whether she's coached by lawyers or not, the cold-heartedness of that action alone says that I'm culpable. For the young man, I thank God for the lawyer that is helping him out, and every case that comes out shows one bad behavior by institutions in Nigeria. Why was he registered as over 18 when he's not? You know, so many questions, so many questions. Every time we have a discussion here, you see holes in one thing or the other. I just hope things will get better soon.
Institutional lapses. I'll take it up from there. It's sad what happened to the young boy. I read that story, and it's sad that the environment he found himself are the persons who actually, you know, set him up and put him in prison. And so perhaps they had influenced what was reading, the statements that was reading about him there. But the lawyer pushing his case, Inibehe Effiong, kudos to you. I hope that you pull him out of that environment so that he can have a safe space where he can grow and see people who can be examples for him, and then learn from there as against being influenced by area boys. And to the Chidinma and the Ataga saga, it's sad that the CEO passed as a result of this, and so there are several questions that can be asked. But it's a lesson to those who say that they want to have a rendezvous before going to their families. Anything can happen, of course. Yeah. Anything can happen at the end of the day, because that's how he lost his life, and he'll stand before God to give account of what he was doing before he lost his life. And for Chidinma, she already displayed a criminal mindset. By stealing those jewelry, taking his account details, and running off like that. The first thing you're supposed to do is to alert the security operative that this has happened, because right now you cannot prove anything except your lawyer is as good. So I hope that justice is done at the end of the day for these persons.
Well, for me, I'm so happy the little boy is out of prison, because we spoke about it right here on the show. And I'm just sad that his people could gather together to put him in prison. It's sad what your own people can do to you, but I'm happy, and a big kudos to the lawyer. This Chidinma story has been giving me chills from the very first time I saw it. First of all, it's quite embarrassing because this man has family and they're getting to relive this moment. And now she's giving more details, which is really, really embarrassing. It's so sad. And just like what Veronica said, we need to be careful where you go before you go to your families, because strange things can happen. And also for Chidinma, I would never believe your story because you stole things. If immediately you saw him dead, you went to the police, you went to authorities, then I can listen to you. But right now, you are a very big suspect.
Yeah, so I'll join my thoughts with you guys as well. You know, saying congratulations to those who using social media, using their influence to help the young man, young boy out of prison. So all investigations had to be done because the police, the DPO, I understand the DPO is being investigated as well. So everyone who had a hand, whether the area boys or anyone who had a hand in putting the guy behind bars beyond, I mean, against his own freedom, then they should be brought to justice. The issue of Chidinma and Ataga, I think it's a whole lot of lessons for young ladies, married men, single men, and all of that. It's so sad when you hear men saying that they can't take on another wife because they're already married, but they are fine when they frolic around, when the promiscuity. If you must do that, why don't you just take a second wife legally? But if you can't, just zip up. Zip up. Now look at the stories we're talking about. You know, it's so sad. It's so sad.
Zipping up.
Yes, I agree with zip up. Zip it up.
The second wife issue, somehow I agree with it. You know, if you must do it.
But Etoma, why must men
a second
No,
wife?
wait. Veronica, let's ask our men here on the table. Veronica, I have something for our men on the table.
Yeah.
I have something for these two men on the table.
Okay,
why must men be polygamous in nature? Mr. Etoma, why are you talking about two?
No one has said men must be polygamous
These are
in
the
nature.
questions that are
That's,
important
no one
for
has said
national
that.
security. Thank you guys
The thing is, there are some
These
men
are the questions
who,
that we need to ask. In our next story, love my team. In a heartwarming twist, a viral video has captured the women of Main Market in Warri throwing a surprise birthday party for a policewoman who has earned their admiration for her dedication to controlling traffic and maintaining order in the area. In a country that is often filled with stories of distrust towards law enforcement and Nigerian police, this was a beautiful gesture, and I think it serves as a reminder to us of the possibility for better relationships between Nigeria and the police. Maybe the police is actually our friend. Take a look at this video. Fun fact for you guys, and he's going to hate me for this, but it's Mr. Itoma's birthday on Sunday, and that is how we plan to celebrate him on set.
We do a zonto.
What do you guys make of this story? Could the police actually be our friend? Also, happy birthday, Itoma, in advance.
Yeah, thank you.
Prepare your dance.
Very much. Maybe you guys should bring a brass band and do all that. And I have to warn you, I can't dance to save my own life.
Try.
I did not know why the director did not bring up, the behind the scene.
We dancing, yeah?
Of Veronica and Rhea dancing. It's just like my first time seeing Veronica dance. I think just play.
And I didn't know she can dance like
bring
that.
up the audio. I
Good.
want us to see Veronica dance. She was just doing this body move right on the seat.
Let's put you on the spot. Let's go.
Congratulations to One thing I found quite interesting in this is that the ladies are happy that a female police officer is being celebrated, and that goes to show that there are good eggs. I mean, good eggs among the police officers, and we need to celebrate them. When they do bad, we condemn them outrightly, and when they do right, we must celebrate them and amplify them so that we'll have it as a point of reference for those who should do right. In this profession.
And to quickly touch on that, although you are not expected to spray money on people, but they were just happy, and that was the best way to cook.
And I hope police will not go after them.
So the police will go after those who are spraying the money. But it's kudos to the woman for her dedication to the job. When I saw the video yesterday, I was just smiling. People notice you, whatever you are doing. When you are diligent at your work, people see you. Right. They pay attention, and then they celebrate you when you are not even thinking about it. Perhaps she might have been trying to give up on her dedication to work, but this will gear her, ginger her to do more at the end of the day. So congratulations to her, and to everyone that celebrated her. Congratulations to you, Etoma. Your birthday is coming on Sunday. We celebrate.
We definitely celebrate. And it's just beautiful to see how happy the woman was. I tell you, these little gestures, you don't know where they go far, and she's going to do more. And what Veronica said, whatever you're doing, do it diligently, because people are looking. And Mr. Itoma knows that I love him so much.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Who has a nice voice here? I think.
Okay, guys, I'm going to move on now.
Right.
In our final story, in a jaw-dropping twist, conservative influencer Ashley St. Clair has revealed that she secretly had a baby with Elon Musk, and she says that he offered her a whopping $15 million to keep it quiet. Now, the two allegedly conceived their now 7-month-old son, Romulus, during a steamy New Year's getaway in St. Bart's. Contrary to earlier rumors of a sperm donation, she says that they had a very much personal relationship and that it was private until now. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, Elon Musk proposed a hush-hush deal. He said that he would give her $15 million up front and $100,000 a month so long as she stayed silent. She refused this money and she said that she wouldn't let her son grow up feeling like a dirty secret. Well, since she spoke out, she claims that Elon Musk has slashed the monthly support from $40,000 and then down to $20,000. She also dropped a wild detail. She said that he wanted at least 10 kids with her and that he was into a baby-making operation because he wanted to build an army or a legion of his offspring. And he's a very, very weird guy. But before I hand over to my team, I'd like to ask you guys to please chime in on the conversation with the hashtag trending now on TVC. Next week, Friday, I'm going to take all the juiciest and the best comments. But guys, what do you think? I would have taken the money. I would have taken the money and I would have run.
No, but she can get more from it, so I don't think she. I think she can get more.
Not now, because from 15 million to 20,000, and the court is
likely
going to agree with that.
Has she sued him?
A suit?
She is making a noise, but Elon Musk has once said that civilization is, getting into danger, and then there is need to solve the problem. So I think he's fixing it single-handedly, by raising different, kids, offspring, some of them secretly, some of them, just one way or the other. But I feel this, calls to question the, power, wealth, and then privacy and responsibility. I think there's much expected of Elon Musk.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, our time is up. I believe they'll settle themselves, whichever way at the end. It's none of my business. But we must thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you, Olamide, for those stories as well. And this is where we have to draw the curtains on the program for today. But let's let you know that the views and reaction of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View with the Ladies. Afterwards is This Morning with Yori Folarin. Do stay safe. Bye for now. Have